Good morning, Alabama football fans, college football fans around the world. For those of us who's remaining, our football teams play Monday night, Alabama versus Clemson, 2019, for all the marbles. Clemson, Alabama, Part 4. It's kind of like a Rocky movie or some shit. Um, so this is my early preview. I will be doing another preview for the game, my final preview on Sunday evening, so be on the lookout for that video. But this is it. I've been kind of watching tape, watching film on Clemson. Obviously, I watch every Alabama football game, frame by frame, snap by snap this year. So I'm already caught up on Alabama as much as I need to be. Clemson, just watching those guys, watching them play. A lot of key important games I wanted to look at was the Syracuse game. And why? Because I think that Syracuse runs the type of offense where they're gonna spread you out and want to go up tempo. And I want to see how Clemson did with that as far as their defensive line rotation. Those guys, they handled that pretty well. You saw, if you saw the game, that Syracuse had a real good chance of winning that football game. I think that they just kind of blew it. With the Texas A&M game, I looked at that one because it's a common opponent. So I like to look at common opponent for comparisons. And Clemson, they allowed Kellen Mond to just kind of do his thing. They couldn't account for the tight end, Sternberger, which is gonna be a problem because Irv Smith is a problem. Those Texas A&M wide receivers had a field day. I still think that the weak point in Clemson is their secondary. I think that they do well by getting pressure on the quarterback, which is what they did in the ACC. A lot of those inferior offensive linemen, those guys were able to go up there, and get and have their way and with those guys and get pressure on the quarterback. Anyone knows that when you have your defensive lineman, when they're able to just rush for, get five guys down there, get pressure on the quarterback, though, that makes your secondary look, in your pass defense look all the better because, the guy's throwing incomplete passes, he's throwing the ball out of bounds and things of that nature, or just throwing it in the dirt. So I think that those numbers for Clemson are a little bit misconstrued. I think with Alabama, I think that the quality of quarterbacks that Alabama has played on the defensive side has been a lot better than what Clemson has faced. I think that Drew Lock is a surefire first-round draft pick, and Alabama held him in check for majority of the night. And I think that Drew Lock, is one of the top quarterbacks in the country. Obviously he's not surrounded by a lot of talent over there in Missouri, but the guy can absolute ball. Obviously we didn't, we just faced a Heisman Trophy winner with the most historic offense. And this is one thing that I want to point out. Alabama handled that offense in check. The final score is not very telling of the football game. Alabama got up 28-0 and just took the foot off the gas. So we could have went down there and scored whenever we wanted to, but we wanted to control the clock, get our guys on the sideline because we already knew who was going to face in the national championship game. There was no reason to try to get guys hurt. Let's move on to the next opponent. But Oklahoma's offense is as good as it gets. Kyler Murray, although I still think Tua should have won a Heisman. Kyler Murray, man, is absolutely electric. He's very dynamic. You can kind of, say he's a Deshaun Watson and a Smurf's body. He's that type of football player, so he's absolutely exceptional, and he got held in check for most of the game. The type of quarterbacks that give Nick Saban Alabama problems are those Kyler Murray, Deshaun Watson types. I don't know the last pocket passer to beat Alabama. I think maybe Bo Wallace. That's kind of who this kid reminds me of as far as like his style of play. Bo Wallace was the last passing, from the pocket quarterback to really just beat Alabama. And I think Jarrett Stidham last year. But that was just more so of Alabama inept offense because we couldn't throw the ball vertically. We were more of a horizontal football team, run first, so that's not a team that can come back and score a whole bunch of points. But, I mean, all hats to Clemson, man. They're a very good football team. I like the kid, Trevor Lawrence. I mean, I think that he's very prototypical of what you want to look for in a quarterback. If you're creating a quarterback, give me him. I want 6'6". I want 215 pounds. And I want a rocket launcher for a football arm. That's him. But give me Tua any day, all day. Tua's healthy, man. I mean, you could just see it in the Oklahoma game. He was back there picking them apart. And that's what he's been doing when healthy to everybody Alabama has played all year. I think Alabama has an advantage on the defensive line. I think that Quinn Williams is unblockable, literally unblockable. And that frees up a lot of other guys. I would not be surprised to see Dylan Moses playing that outside backer position on some reps while we're in, kind of in that dime nickel package. Just get some pressure on the quarterback. And I think that's going to be the really the difference in the game. I think that we're going to be able to get to their quarterback a little bit more often, disguise some coverage, disguise some blitzes. He is a freshman. And at the end of the day, we know what Brett Venables and Clemson defense want to do. And I just think that Alabama's going to expose a lot of weaknesses for Clemson. I don't think that Alabama's going to win big. I think this game is going to be pretty close. I think I got Alabama by 9. And I think that the way the game is going to go, it's going to be kind of a slugfest, back and forth. And I think that Tua gets the ball in the end zone a couple more times late in the third quarter, sealing the game away from us, sealing the game away for Alabama for another national championship. So that's kind of my early look at it. If you guys like my content, y'all like my channel, man, click the bell icon, click notifications to get notified when I upload. This has been a great football season. I'm going to be doing more content afterwards, but click subscribe, and I'm out. Peace.